Hey guys, this is going to be the first of many tutorials that's going to teach players how to take their gameplay to the next level. I'm going to assume you already went through the in-game tutorial, so you already know the basics such as the control schemes and the mechanics of the game. So if I say homing dash, you know I'm referring to that. And if I say vanish attack, you know I'm referring to this. So these tutorials are aimed at players who already know these basics, but they don't know how to take their gameplay to the next level other than learning a better combo. I'm going to try to make these tutorials short, simple, and practical. So let's start with offense, one step at a time. My first lesson on offense is going to be something rudimentary, hitconfirms. Hitconfirm is your ability to react to your opponent getting hit or blocking your strings, and then making a decision based off of that. So on block, you want to make yourself safe, or you want to continue your pressure. And on block, or sorry, on hit, you want to continue into a full combo. What you don't want to do is commit into a combo in your mind, or commit to pressure, because what you're doing there is you're mixing up the full chart options, and you're going to lose out on a lot of damage opportunity. So if you go for a mix-up and your opponent gets hit, then you could have gone to a combo instead. But if you're committing to a combo and your opponent is blocking, they're gonna get a full punish on you. There's a fundamental that not a lot of players have, and it's a major reason why they're losing this, in my opinion. So for example, most players, they're gonna end their heavy into a homing dash. But if you're facing a player that's good enough, they're gonna react to the homing dash and get a full combo off of it. So if you're one of those players that ends their heavy into a homing dash, you're gonna run into a loss sooner or later just because of that. So what you want to do is you want to practice hit confirming and catching the heavy into a special instead on block, or just go into an assist to make yourself safe. Now some of these are punishable, right? It depends on your assist, it depends on your character, it depends on the opponent. But even then, at least you're not taking a full damage combo. At least you're going to be trading, and that's a much better scenario than getting a full punish by your opponent. If you're struggling with hit confirms, what you want to do is you go into training mode, you set the dummy on guard random, and then you practice your reaction. So that's on hit, and that's on block. So that's just one example of hit confirming, and that's at a very basic level. How about we take it to the next level? How about we make it even better? Instead of making myself safe, what if I want to continue the pressure? Right? That's a much better scenario than just making myself safe. I want to keep being on the offense. Now in most cases, you can't continue your pressure even when there's an assist if you use a heavy. That's because of the recovery. So what you want to do is that instead of going to a heavy, special, and assist, it's better to do it off of mediums because you recover faster. And that gives you more options that has a smaller gap in between. It's going to also be harder to react to. So before we go into the application of using mediums to continue your pressure, let's talk about the block strings that we actually use. So, in my opinion, universally, it's better to use light, medium, medium. So 2 lights, 2 mediums. The choice of lights is really up to you. So Captain Ginyu, I'm going to use standing light, because that's 3 hits. Some characters, they have a low hitting light. So, for example, Adult Gohan, his standing light hits low. Android 18, her second light hits low. So that's something to keep in mind. Now for your mediums, typically it's best to go to crouching medium, standing medium, because that gives you access to the universal jump cancel combo, which is the best combo route for most of the characters in this game. Now if you want to do a wall bounce combo, then you should go into standing medium, into crouching medium. It's really up to you what you want your string to be, which buttons you want to use, but it's important. The point is you want to have a 4-hit string, because that's going to give you a lot of time to hit confirm properly. Alright, so let's move on. So what can you do with this 4-hit string to continue the pressure? So for example, I'm going to use 4-hit string, assist, I fucked that up. You could do another block string in case your opponent in case your opponent tries to press a button in between, or go for an instant air dash, or go for another low into a standing medium into a jump combo, or you can go for a grab. Now, grab's gonna be really effective because depending on the assist, you don't really see what the hell you're doing, right? So it's really up to you. Or you can do this actually. Hold on. So you can do this. So on a hit, that's gonna give you a full combo. Because what you can do is after an overhead, you turn your overhead into an assist, you're gonna get a full combo off of that. So a lot of things you could do just by practicing your hit confirms and using your assist, and then continue the pressure because of that. So your offense is going to be much better if you practice hit confirms. The longer the assist, the better the pressure. And that's why Vegeta, regular Super Saiyan Vegeta, is such a popular pick, because his assists last for so long that you can pretty much do whatever you want to the opponent. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up my lecture on hit confirms. So let me give you a practical example using my own character, Captain Ginyu. So for Captain Ginyu, I use standing light into crouching medium, standing medium, or sometimes I use standing medium into crouching medium. It depends on what I'm feeling at the moment. So standing light gives me, the second standing light is 2 hits, so that gives me 3 hits, which is even more time for me to hit confirm. And then I'm going to go into this crouching medium, standing medium for a jump cancel combo. Now if they're still blocking at this point, I can do a heavy. If they get hit by this, then I'm going to get my wall bounce combo. But if they block it, then I'm going to go into his strong jersey, which is it's unpunishable to my knowledge. Now what's even better about the strong jersey special is that it has the special property of being cancelled into a Ginyu assist, which will allow me to further continue my pressure. That's only if I'm facing a Ginyu player, a player who doesn't know how to fight Captain Ginyu. And this string here is mostly safe. And I say mostly safe because it's actually punishable. So let me give you an example. So there I set the dummy to do the same string I just did. See, he's punishable right there, even if I'm holding down back to block. Now, not every character can punish this, because the character, in order to punish this, you need a standing medium that's fast enough and reaches far enough. Not a lot of characters have that. Captain Ginyu is one of them, Hit is one of them. To my knowledge, those are the characters that can punish that string. So, but if I'm facing an opponent that doesn't have another Captain Ginyu, doesn't have hit, or they don't know how to punish Captain Ginyu's gap, then I'm gonna keep using this string. But if I do face a player who's using Ginyu hit, or they know how to escape this pressure, then I'm gonna need to cover that gap with something else. So what I'm gonna do is, oh, I did that wrong. Hold on. I'm gonna use an assist instead. Hold on, I'm doing this wrong. There we go. Okay, so that's the proper example. As I'm using strong jersey, I'm using my assist, and then canceling strong jersey into my Ginyu assist to make it a true kind of pressure block string. Now in a corner, I'm going to change this up a little bit. So let's set the opponent to guard only the first hit. So I'm going to use strong jersey medium version instead, because that allows me to get a full combo in the corner, which leads to a lot of damage. But in order for me to do that, I'm going to use standing medium into crouching medium, because that's the only way for this to combo if they get hit by the low. So that's just an example of what I do with Captain Ginyu. Another example I can do is, for example, is an overhead. So those are the options that I use with Captain Ginyu. It's light, medium, medium, strong jersey, Ginyu assist. And if I'm facing an opponent that knows how to fight against Ginyu, then I'm going to use an assist and Ginyu assist to make myself even safer. Now, for you, it's going to be up to you to figure out how you want to it's going to be up to you to figure out your own character's optimal hit confirm string. For me, what I just described is, to me, my optimal hit confirm flowchart with Captain. Now it's going to be varying from character to character, obviously. For example, Cell, he's got 2 mediums, he's got a forward hard command Noma that hits low. Team Gohan, his second light launches him into the air, so he can't do a medium afterwards. Majin Buu's technically is an overhead, and it doesn't combo well with this other Noma, so you can't use that in your block string. So, like I said, it's going to be up to you to figure out the optimal hit confirm flowchart with your own characters. The biggest takeaway from this video is to remind players that you don't have to fully commit to a block string or a mix-up. You can react to it if you use a forward string. If you do a mix-up and your opponent gets hit in between, then you're just wasting a damage opportunity because you didn't practice your hit confirm. Another problem if you don't practice your hit confirm is that if you go into a full combo, right, then your opponent is gonna be able to punish you, and you're gonna be the one who's taking damage instead. So the importance is practice your hit confirms. You're gonna minimize both of the problems that I just pointed out, and your gameplay is gonna see a huge improvement. So that's gonna conclude my lesson on offense in regards to hit confirms. I hope you found it useful. Until next time.